So a very good morning to you students. Today class we are going to discuss about the continuation of the concept called dielectrics. So in the last class we discussed about, or we come to know that what is a dielectric. So what is a dielectric? It is a non-conducting substance which has no free charges, but it has a peculiar quality called, in the presence of electric field, it is going to produce net dipole moment. Because of this, of molecular displacements, a net charge appears on the surface which causes some electric field induced inside the dielectric. Now we said that before that dipole moment is 0, but now it induces some net dipole moment in a dielectric when placing in an electric field is called polarization. This induced dipole moment is directly proportional to what? Reduced value of electric field. So we have written as P equals to alpha epsilon naught E, where alpha is called atomic polarizability. And so if the same thing you apply for dielectrics, so what happens? The polarization density of a dielectric slab is directly proportional to what? Reduced value of electric field. Now what is P? P is equals to xi into epsilon naught E. What is xi? Xi is called electric susceptibility of dielectric slab. For vacuum, this value is 0. Now we are going to learn one more definition called what? Dielectric constant. What is that? It is defined as the ratio of electric field in air or vacuum to electric field in medium. So now we can define this as dielectric slab as what? Dielectric constant is equals to K E naught by E. So dielectric constant is also dimensionless, whereas xi also dimensionless quantity. There is a relation between these two, that is relation between K and xi. So K is equals to psi. What this xi gives? This xi gives what? Electrical behavior of a dielectric. Okay. So now let us come to the point, the very important concept, that is capacitor. What is a capacitor? Very simple concept ma. See, two conductors, metal conductors, any two metal conductors separated by some insulating medium. So between these two conductors what should be there? An insulator or an insulating medium. Now these two conductors are separated by some distance, constitutes a capacitor. So we can say that two metal conductors separated by an insulating medium constitutes a capacitor. Okay. Now see here, this capacitor is separated by some distance. This capacitor, two metal conductors separated by some distance, constitutes a capacitor. Let us assume that the charge on the capacitor is plus Q and this conductor is minus Q, and the plate is A, this plate is B. Net charge. So net charge on the capacitor, we should not consider the sum of these two charges. Why? Because the function of capacitor is to store charge. So net charge on capacitor is equals to charge on positive plate. What is the charge on positive plate? That we consider as what? Charge of a capacitor. And let us potential. Potential difference is what? Potential difference is equals to V equals to VA minus VB. Okay. Now from this we come to know that I want to bring a charge from here to here, right? Because this is negative charge, it has excess electrons, so we can transfer the charges from negative plate to positive plate. So from negative to positive, because it has some potential and it has some potential, both are not equal potential, so we should do some work done to transfer the charge from negative plate to positive plate. So if the charge we should transfer is more, we should do more work done, right? So what we can say that the charge on a plate is directly proportional to potential difference. That implies Q is equals to CV. From this we can write C equals to what? Q by V. Now we got the doubt that sorry ma, what is C, right? What is C? C is proportionality constant. We can call this as C is what? Proportionality constant, called capacitance of the capacitor. Now what is capacitance? We know capacitor, two conductors separated by some distance. What is capacitance? Is represented by letters C. So the ability of a device to store charge in the form of electric lines of force. So the device which stores the charge in the form of electric lines of force is called what? Capacitance. And that device is called what? Capacitor. The ability or the property of that material to store charge is called what? Capacitance. And that device we can call as what? Capacitor. Now see what this capacitor, on which factors it depends, right? See, have you seen? So we can get that out. Sir, what is capacitor? Where we have seen that? Yes, we have seen everywhere. For example, in our home. In our home, if you see the fan, inside the fan, a coil is appearing outside. That is white color cylindrical coil substance. That is nothing but a capacitor. Or if you take your mobile phone to a shop, in that if they open the motherboard, in that a small saffron colored devices in cylindrical shape will be present. That is also a capacitor. So this function is to store charge. Okay. Now this capacitance of a capacitor depends upon which factors, right? On which factors it depends, like, so this is very similar to a water tank in our home. So what a water tank will store? Water. Here the capacitor will store charge. So now the capacity of that water tank depends upon which factors, ma? Its shape, right? Yes. What about the size? If the size is more, its store capacity will be more. What about the medium? For example, if you place water, this capacity is 1000 liters. Can the 1000 liter water capacity water tank will store 1000 liter petrol or oil? No, because here the medium has been changed. The capacitance also changes. So the capacitance of a capacitor depends upon size of the capacitor, shape of the capacitor, and the medium, the nature of medium between the two plates. Means we said na, between two conductors we should present insulating medium. So which type of medium has present between these two, based on that medium also its capacitance will changes. Okay. So now we'll write, we come to know that what is the SI unit of this capacitance. What is the formula? Q by V. Q is measured in coulomb and potential is measured in volt. So R, it can be called as farad. 1 farad is equals to 1 coulomb per 1 volt. And in the similar way we can write the dimensional formula. What is the dimension formula? Same way, Q by V, nothing but Q by watt done per unit charge. You can write as Q square by W. So C is equals to what? A square T square by M L square T power minus 2. So sending numerator M power minus 1, L power minus 2, minus 2 may like plus 2, 4 A square. So this is also one of the different quantity having inverse dependence of mass. Okay, and now circuit symbol. How a capacitor is represented in circuits? So there are two representations of the capacitors. One is like this. This is called what? A fixed capacitor having capacitance. And this is the representation of what? Variable capacitor. So if in a circuit they represent this symbol, that is having fixed capacitance some value, and if they represent like this, so it is having variable capacitor. We can vary the capacitance of the capacitor in the circuit. So what is a capacitor? Two conductors, two metal conductors separated by some insulating medium is called capacitor. So the net charge on the capacitor is equal to charge on positive plate, and potential difference is the difference between these two plates. As we come to know that to carry charge from negative to positive plate, we should act against the potential. So if the charge is more, we have to transfer more charge, potential should be more. So that's why we can write as Q is directly proportional to V, and Q is equals to C by V, where C is equals to what? Q by V. What is C here? Proportionality constant. Proportionality constant called what? Capacitance of the capacitor. Okay. So